Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to another brand spanking new night shift week. Kinda chilly here in South Florida. See, sleeves. Yeah, sleeves. Chilly in South Florida tonight. Boy. Greetings all and one and many. Welcome to the night shift. Big ups to all those who have it locked right now, those who have it tuned, who are tuned in to rockbox.net on TuneIn Radio or rockbox.net online. On TuneIn Radio, also the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, home of the night shift, of course. The Foundation Radio Network, One Harmony Radio over there in the UK. Top of the morning to you guys. Big ups to everybody tuned in. PEMGTV.com, and of course, the home of the night shift right here, kevinstew.com. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you, and I promise I wouldn't try. Kicking it off with a lyrical Patrice Roberts and Millie Beats. It's called Criminal Wine. We could jam down whole night. Like your head nice, how you moving so high. Take it down and go with the flow. Done the chat, bend your back and wind your head for that. Give me that one time, yeah. Give me that, girl. Give me. Girl, you look so fine, belly fat and nice. Come for that, give me that one time. Give me that, girl. Give me. I go too far, wine like a criminal. No resistance, shot to be minimal. Lock you down and wine like a criminal. Stick it up and wine like a criminal. Man, go for yourself, time for your physical. Lock you down and wine like a criminal. Hey, you cannot tell nobody. This is between you and me. Keep the vibes that you're bringing on me. Hold the bumper, walk it on me. Keep the time in, choke it on me. Hook me tight and walk it on me. Hold on to me like you don't have a girl. If that is a crime, I go face the time. Roll, girl, stay by my side. Yeah, come let we ride like Bonnie and Clyde. We feel like I could make you feel nice. We could jump all night. Oh, like your head nice. How you moving so high. Take it down and go with the flow. Hey, don't be chat. Bend your back and wind up for that. Give me that one time. Give me that, girl. Give me that. Give me that. You look so fat, belly fat and nice. Come for that. Give me that. You can pretty much visualize all this happening, right? I go Tifa wine like a criminal. No resistance, shot for me. Tifa wine like a criminal. Let's bend your back, my girl, just so. Stick it up and wine like a criminal. Yeah, like that. It's time for your physical. Lock it down and wine like a criminal. Yeah, like a criminal. Yeah, Patrice and lyrical. Oh yeah. Say I love you, girl. Oh yeah. You roll up on me like you do have a girl. Yeah. Trying to keep for wine like a criminal. No, girl, I come here alone. I ain't breaking no code. No other girl in my soul. Yeah. If you want me, you cannot tell nobody. This is between you and me. Keep the vibes that you're bringing on me. Hold the bumper, walk it on me. Keep the time in, choke it on me. Hook me tight and walk it on me. Don't be chat, bend your back and wind your hook for that. Give me that one time, yeah. Give me that, girl. Give me. Girl, you look so fine, belly flat and nice. Come for that, give me that one time. So them say like a criminal. Not like a regular criminal, no. Criminal. So it's not a one criminal. Criminal wine, lyrical, Patrice Roberts, Millie Beats. And right now, I have on the line the man who deals with criminals sometimes. Well, yeah, sometimes. They're not all criminals. It's not only criminals that contact lawyers. But before I bring you on, I want to say thanks
to Pulsey Media Group for sponsoring this segment of the show, and being in the moment is priceless. You want to give them a call, 754-999-6020, or link them online, pulseemg.com. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the man of the moment, holder of this segment of Community and Finance, the legal segment, the one and only, Owen K. Ferguson, Esquire. Sir, good evening to you. How you do?
Okay, good evening to you and to the listeners. I'm good. What's going on?
Oh, it's like you didn't realize that was your time without the applause. Okay, here it is.
Always welcome. Always welcome.
Listen, it's chilly here in South Florida. What's the weather like in Jamaica?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm wearing I have on long sleeves tonight. So, what's the weather like in Jamaica right now?
Yeah, Jamaica has been cool too, but I've been attributing it to the mid-afternoon rains.
Oh, that's what you're calling it?
Most afternoons we've had a little shower, you know.
So
kind of cool down.
You're not attributing it to Christmas breeze.
Well, I look like that left over, of course.
Because anytime the temperature dropped when I was growing up, it was always Christmas breeze.
Yeah, man. Look like that still blowing, you know. I hope it blow hard enough to blow out the mosquitoes, you know.
Yeah, I don't think there's any such luck. No such luck. I want to welcome 861 to the Stew Pot, and welcome anybody else who feels like they want to jump on in. That's fine. I invite you to come on into the Stew Pot all the time. The water is always fine. So kevinstew.com, you see the Stew Pot. It's what others call a chat room. No, it's a Stew Pot. It's where we keep things bubbling. Welcome 464. Glad you could join us. All right, so Owen, what do you have in store for us tonight?
All right, so this evening we want to jump in. For the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about property. We started talking about rental property.
Right.
This evening, a topical issue for many persons outside of Jamaica is how to bring unregistered land into registration. How do you get land, which may have been, some elderly relative of yours died and left it to you?
Mm-hmm. Legacy.
In order to really unlock the value of the land and really make use of it, the smart thing to do is to get a registered title. And so this evening I'll spend a little time just talking about that process, what it involves, who it involves, and how to go about it.
Okay.
Right. So unregistered land, how do you know whether it is registered or not? It's probably a straightforward question we should get out of the way real early.
Right, because I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, if it's registered, there will be a registered certificate of title. There'll actually be a document which clearly states that it is a certificate of title. Mm-hmm. And it's issued from the National Land Agency, which is the current agency that addresses these matters in Jamaica at this point. So that's the one with a new website, right? And nla.org.
There we go.
So once you are able to confirm that such a document exists for this particular land, then you know you're talking about registered land. And this particular presentation tonight doesn't impact you so much.
Okay.
But there are still large parcels of land across the island which handed down from family member to family member quite informally, mm-hmm. and nobody ever took the time, perhaps never had the guidance, never had the resources to go about taking out a title for the land. So it was always just know that a mass bush of land.
Right.
And then him give it down to his grandchildren and children and coming all the way down. Mm-hmm. But nobody ever had any proper document for the land. So that's what I want to talk about this evening. Now, what's going to be required? First of all, you're going to need the help of a couple of professionals. An attorney at law, first of all.
Yes, that's where you come in.
Yes. Myself and the other 3,000 professionals who operate here in Jamaica.
They're not important.
You'll also need a land surveyor. Now we talk about why you need a land surveyor, and you also need a valuator. Okay?
Okay.
So let's start the process. Now, if you're going to be the person applying for this title, no doubt you have had some claim to the land. It came to you from your grandfather or whoever. You may very well have some document, maybe not a title, but some document related to it. It could be something as trivial as a postmark letter, you know, a little note, perhaps a deed, a will, any document related to the land that speaks to your ownership of the land, or anything connected to your payment of taxes or anything else that you may have related to the land will become relevant. So now would be a good time to start searching for those things. Open up the old grip, ask them to pull the big barrel and search all the way to the bottom for whatever documents you may have related to the land. Gather those together and take them in to your favorite attorney at law. Process will then ask that you supply with those things 3 declarations. Now, the law requires that 3 persons, including the applicant, make a statutory declaration as to their knowledge of the land and to say, yes, this applicant is rightfully entitled to the land because we have known the land for 30 years at least, and over that time we know who the owner has been, and we know how it comes now to be that the applicant, the person who is putting the application forward, is entitled to make this application.
Let me interrupt you a quick second.
Sure.
Please. So, this one of the if one of the forms of that you are going to use to claim the land, you said be it deed or letter. So if you had gotten a letter to state that says, okay, this land is now passed on to you, that letter cannot be used as a declaration?
No, so the declaration requires a certain form, and it is going to be required of someone who is still alive.
Other than you who are being awarded
one
land?
One will be required from the applicant and then 2 others. I mentioned a letter because very often, especially back in the day, that was the primary means of communication across the seas. When people are far away.
Right.
They may just mention, oh, by the way, so the land behind the house, I'm giving it to my grandnephew. So you will see that in a letter. That's why I mentioned letter, because some, people hold on to these things over time.
Right.
And they may not have had done anything more formal than that. But you'll find the old blue envelope, little email envelope, with a little note on it to say, the land where we always have the cow, that I want to give to my grandnephew. So I just mentioned letter as an example, but it could be any document that establishes your claim to the land.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so you're putting all that together, you take it into your attorney, and you have 2 persons. Now, ideally what you want is 2 people, preferably your immediate neighbors to the land. So people who have lived beside the land or close to the land, who can say, yes, I live right beside the land and I know who the owner is, and the man who is applying for it is the son of the owner. The owner died a few years ago, etc., etc. The attorney will guide you as to the wording of that declaration, but the most important thing is to find someone who has that kind of history to them, and it's important, the law requires that the person gives at least 30 years of history of the land. So you need 2 such persons.
So you need the elders in the community to step forward and say, hey.
You know, these people who know everything about everything, they go way back, and they remember you from your IDNE, and now you're making an application and say, yeah man, I'm Miss Johnson boy, and I'm entitled to get the land.
Okay.
So you need two people to make those declarations. As I said, the attorney will draft up the declarations because there's a particular format that the statute requires, which an attorney would be able to guide you on. But you just need to find those persons and, maybe need to just jog their memory a little bit and so on. So you now have your three declarations, one from the applicant and these two others. In addition to which now you'll now need a surveyor.
Mm-hmm.
This is the individual who's going to go out to the land and prepare what is called a pre-checked survey diagram. Once you indicate that you're trying to take out a title for the land, a good surveyor will know exactly what he needs to do. And of course, he will charge his fees, go out there and conduct his survey, prepare the survey diagram, and have that presented in the format that is required. Similarly, you need a valuator to go out there and put a market value on the land. And again, his fees, like the surveyor's fees, will depend very much on the size of the land involved, and sometimes also the remoteness of the land. Sometimes they'll charge you for things like how far they have to travel to get to the land, whether they have to cross over a river,
make them way through the
harsh
bush
terrain that they need to go through. There may be some premium on your charge just for that.
And then they measure by the charge by the square foot?
Yes. The charge by the size of the land, so whatever number of acres and roods and perches, they will work out what the charge is based on the size.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So once you have, so now you have your survey, you have your evaluation, and you have your declarations. You put all of that into the hands of your attorney, and that's where your attorney takes the process forward. Typically, the process can go very quickly from there, and I say quickly in relative terms because the other steps are really out of your hands. They're going to be occurring with the land agency itself and with the tax department, because as with everything else, the government has to get their share of the pie.
Right.
And so you will have to demonstrate, one, that you have paid the land taxes on the property. There are no back taxes, you have paid them. And the proof that you'll provide is a certificate of taxes paid. So it's one thing to have your receipts, and it's important to have your receipts. But you also need to go to the tax office now and obtain a certificate which shows that you have paid up to date.
That took me back to that show that we did where someone was claiming on land by paying the taxes on the land versus the owner of the land.
Right.
So
you remember me saying at the time that payment by itself is not sufficient.
Right.
And here we go. I'm telling you all of the other things that you would need to have in order to establish a claim. So just paying the taxes is only one small part of the entire process.
But you as the owner, all you need to really do is prove that taxes are up to date.
Correct. So, and it helps to have the receipts showing that you paid. Now, if it is that you were not the one who paid, you need to explain how it is that the receipt bears someone else's name. It might have been a family member who paid on your behalf while you were overseas. And that's fine. As long as you can make a connection between yourself and the receipt, and more importantly, show that there are no arrears on the taxes.
Right, there you go. Okay.
So you need both. Yeah. And that's that. The process, as I said, depends a lot on these government bodies, how quickly they can do the assessment for value, how quickly they can tell you what duties to pay. And once you make those payments, the attorney will put the application in for the title. And usually within a matter of weeks, maybe a few months, your application is processed, and your attorney will call you to say that your title is ready.
On average, you're talking about how long a wait or the process?
All right, so very, very difficult to put a number on that because, as I said, there are so many steps that can help or hinder the process, okay?
Including
but
the
from
surveyor.
The point when you hand over everything to the attorney, to the point you receive the title, if all goes well, can be as short as 8 weeks.
So 2 months.
Anywhere 2 months, anywhere there upwards is what I would say to you. The lengthiest part of the process involves some external professionals, external to the NLA, who actually make the determination about the issuance of the title.
Okay.
Okay, these are called referees, and these are seasoned professionals who work on behalf of the NLA, who receive the applications, review them, ensure that they are correct, and give a ruling. And the delay, if any, is usually there. All right, so once it gets to NLA, that's where the delay usually is. Prior to that, you may have delays at the stamp office where they say, oh, you paid this, but it should really have been this, because they assess the value of the property different from how you have assessed it.
Really?
So there may be those challenges there as well.
So how is the assessment not standard?
Yeah, this is the question of the ages. Yeah, like everything else, a property valuation is a professional judgment and highly subjective. Yes, there are some broad rules, but still very subjective, and it is one person's view and opinion versus that of another, and in this case, the other could be a professional working for the government in the stamp office, which, in fairness to them, they are usually quite amenable to accepting the value that you give, provided it is roughly within their estimate themselves. If they pick up a significant disparity, then you may have to appeal their value.
Okay. Well, I thank you very much, sir. And since you mentioned attorneys being involved, please give your contact information for anyone needing to use such services.
Okay.
In the event that people don't know, yes, he is an attorney. Quite qualified too.
Thank you, sir. All right, so my email is Owen K Ferguson, full name, Owen K Ferguson, Ferguson, and that's at hotmail.com. And my telephone number 876-840-5862. So again, 876-840-5862. That's me.
I thank you very much, sir. And as usual, please pass on my regards to the family. Just got a message on the text line. Please give Daddy Owen my regards.
Okay.
Oh, lie. No. Let me put it as it was sent. Give my love to Daddy Owen, please. So,
all right.
Pass that
on. Right, back at you.
I'll leave that one right there.
All right, yeah, man.
All right. Thank you very much, Owen. We'll catch up again next week where we continue with the legal segment for the diaspora. Right here on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Take care until later on.
All right, good.
All right, blessings. Ladies and gentlemen, Owen K. Ferguson, Esquire. Right now, we're going to take a break.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsing Media Group.
Are you crazy about the music industry? You aspire to hit it big in music? Or maybe you've sweated out a soulful killer beat and are now stuck finding it's not as easy as it looked. Oh, but it can be easy for you with JTMC. We've been there. We know how it feels. So we solve challenges like production, promotion, marketing, branding and development, and more. With over 30 years of experience, JTMC is a one-stop shop for artists. We handle your graphic design, writing services, PR, as well as event planning, e-blasts, artist management, and bookings, so also your website and social media needs as well. We're experts in using creativity to persuade audiences on behalf of artists, drawing on our diverse experience to create projects that connect with audiences intellectually and emotionally. Artist success is everything to us, and our years of experience and commitment will be behind you for every one of your needs. If you've got music for the world to hear, whether you're a new or established artist, visit us at jtmcenterprise.com.
I will be your zaddy, 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 your sugar daddy, zaddy, zaddy. Ladies, husbands, do you want a young man or you want a strong man? You're looking for a joke man or ready to work man? My question, ladies. Yes. Well, if you are that stage where you don't study age, already took that page and you're willing to engage, well, you meet up with a man already with a plan and gonna play host and land and we see us cashing hard. Jam with everything I want to be up. There's only sweet ways I got to you. Girl, let me make a joke and it's made to shoes. You don't need insulin when I'm done with you. I'm gonna give you sugar, sugar, sugar. There is plenty sugar, sugar, sugar. Your sugar, cane sugar. Yeah, wet with sugar. I sleep with sugar. Ladies, do you want a bad man or a credit card man? You're looking for a learner or a steady earner? My question, ladies. Yes. If you want to explore, you will be secure. I can open any door and give you more and more. Girl, you meet up with a man that barely understand how to lend a hand and make your business expand. Girl, with everything I want to be up. There's only sweet ways I got to you. Girl, let me make a joke and it's made to shoot.
Oh boy.
You don't need insulin when I'm done.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me tell you.
Zaddy, zaddy, zaddy. Your sugar
And I tell you, when these gremlins ready to jump on out on you, see?
husbands, do you want a young man
These gremlins are merciless.
for a joke man? Already
Want to welcome you back to the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. And in the background you hear me playing a song. It's called Zaddy. A brand new tune from the man of the moment, Mr. Leo Coldero. And I managed to somehow get word to Leon, and he decided to share a little time with us tonight. So, Leon, you there? Oh, it would help if I did that. Leon, you there? Hello?
Our communication is not that great, but I'm hearing you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's see how well we can work this for the moment. You stateside or you down in the islands right now?
I am in Trinidad and Tobago right now. That's correct.
Loving it, eh? The man ever busy, ever youthful, Mr. Leo Coldero, ladies and gentlemen. And my sponsor for this segment isn't even Pulse Media. I want to thank Pulse Media for sponsoring the previous segment, and GMAT Music Solution for sponsoring this segment of the show. We have a few moments that we get to share with Leon. How you doing? Let me get the pleasantries out the way. How you doing, Leon? Leon, hello. Boy, these connections, I tell you, sometimes the connection just iffy and sketchy and. Let's try to re-establish this connection with Leon. Alright, we're getting back. We're gonna have to battle with this for a moment. Talking across the waters like this, sometimes it can be pretty rough. Alright, so I'm playing your new tune right now, or one of your new tracks, Zaddy. You hearing me? Leon? Hello? Did I lose him again? Leon, you there? Leon?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, I wasn't hearing you. Alright. Alright, so I hear you now. And so is everybody else.
Okay. Right. Because I heard you asking about 3 or 4 times, and I keep saying, yes, I'm hearing you.
I tell you, listen. Prior to us connecting on this call, I had a legal segment connected to Jamaica beautifully. A lawyer out of Jamaica does a legal segment. And I went for a break and everything went. I got a message. I'm listening to my feed on this side of the studio, and I got a message. All tune-in feeds are gone, and not hearing anything on your site either. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Everything went.
Yes.
So all I was hearing was the studio monitor. And I'm here jamming and setting up and getting everything ready for your segment. And
these things do happen because it's technology we're talking about, and it happens.
Yeah, it's painful. Can I tell you? It's so painful. How you doing though? How you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I'm here in the studio right now working on another track. I'm going to be released soon after Carnival. Something with a Latin twist, because it's not just about, soca, it's about music. And wherever I find a niche and feel, that there's a need, something that I can do, and because we do have Latinos all over the place now, I figured, why not just try my hand at doing something with a Latin twist, a Latin flavor,
But
it's all, it's all music.
You seem to really like this Latin flavor.
Well,
why? What is it about? Because, first of all, how long have you been doing this music thing?
I have been in the music industry for 30 years now.
30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I can say you are one of the artists that had me starting to listen to soca music, because someone that used to come to my house on a Saturday morning when I was a teenager, pre-teen, early teens, loved soca music, and Saturday was cleaning day, so we'd be cleaning and soca music start to play, and I said, turn up the music. So that was the time when you were coming out into this thing. What got you into soca music?
Well, I was born into soca music. I mean, being Trinidadian, and that's what you hear,
Right.
other than the foreign music. But our local music is, well, what at the time I would say we were hearing more calypso, because I'm a soca baby. When soca really came into existence, I was already, into that era, and just loving the vibe, because it's a kind of happy music that makes you must move your feet, you must get up, you must move to the beat,
Right.
It was just a natural thing for me. The interesting part of it is coming to Jamaica to perform soca, because I'm thinking Jamaicans are different from Trinidadians as far as music is concerned, and I figured that I might not have been accepted, coming to Jamaica to perform soca, because I remember checking into Pegasus Hotel one time in Kingston, and one of the bell guys said to me, "Why, Leon, we can't bother with that soca business, The girl are go on, and woman are wine pan woman, and man are wine pan man, and you're moving to the left and moving to the right." He said, "Nah, so we can't bother with that." So it was interesting, but I came to Jamaica, and when I saw, the people that I performed to, I remember doing the show up in Chaka Cove. There was this huge audience, I'd say maybe about 10,000 people, with Byron Lee and the Dragonaires coming in around Carnival in Jamaica. It was crazy to see the response. It's like, my gosh, I don't know. It was just history. That's all I can say. Because I have this way where the girls refer to me as the wire waist man. But it's about entertaining and dancing and being able to entertain your fans.
Yes, Mr. Jab Malassi. Can I tell you, for a long time I didn't know what I'm like. What is Jab Malassi? What is that? And then, true confession. Today I looked at the title once more, and then I looked at myself. There was a reflective surface. I actually looked at myself in the surface. I said, "You idiot."
we don't use the whole word, really. We normally just abbreviate it and say jab. Instead of using the whole word jab Malassi. But we abbreviate it and just use the word jab, and a jab is really around carnival time, when they will come out and either they would paint themselves, with paint, or they would use oil. You have the black jabs, and you have the blue jabs, and you have the red jabs, and it's kind of scary to see. And they say if you really want to see jabs, you have to go to Grenada, because they do it different compared to Trinidad. They use snakes. They use snakes and all that, and they really get into this whole jab thing, with the
it's kind of like John Kunu. It's kind of like John Kunu in Jamaica.
It's kind of like, I'm sorry?
John Kunu in Jamaica, where they do these masks, and they dress up,
right,
and they parade down the streets.
Yes, and they will scare you, like a spectator looking on, because they know you don't want to get, touched by their body paints, and they would wear these masks that you really don't know who's under the mask, but they look almost real.
Right.
And they have a dance to go with it, and it sound kind of it has a scary sound, and but yet still very interesting, because they would, I don't know how they do it, but they would, I guess put alcohol, maybe or kerosene or something in their mouth, and then they would light this flame and blow the kerosene out, and it will just go up in this flame, and it's hot. You can feel the heat, and it's really, really, really interesting.
Nice. So, I have to ask you, what kept you into soca music?
Well, music is my career. I have been doing music from ever since I left, college, and this is something I wanted to do. And I have a passion for being on stage and for being an entertainer, for entertaining. It brings joy to me to see people having a good time. And I thought, since this is a passion of mine, or I should say my main passion, it didn't have anything better to do a job that you enjoy doing and get paid for it at the same time. I mean, what other job could you think of in the world than being on stage, entertaining people, traveling the world, and yet getting paid for it?
Listen, I was taught, if you do a job that you love, you will never work a day in your life.
Exactly. You're preaching there to the preacher. Even though people may not see what I do as work, but it is work. Like I said, right now I'm in the studio, and when I'm finished in the studio, tomorrow morning you wake up and you have to go into the radio station for interviews, and when you're done with that, you have rehearsals, and then you have the actual performance and the traveling, and it's a lot. It takes a toll on your body sometimes. The vocal cords need rest, and all that stuff. And sometimes you have shows back to back. It is not easy to be up, and being able to entertain and have that same energy, and still being able to smile and give your fans the time, to take a pic or two, as the case may be. It's a lot.
Listen, talk about smile. We met back in August, I'd say. Up at the Treasure Coast Jerk Festival.
Yes.
And there it was, that energetic performance that you managed to keep up after 30 years. I saw a video of you today. There's a video. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't believe me, go check it out. On YouTube, there's a video of Leo Coldero performing Jab Malassi in Trinidad. You won't recognize him. This picture that you are seeing right now on kevinstew.com is not the same Leon Coldero you'll see in that video. Okay? I promise you, you will not recognize him. However, the actions, the energy, the sound, that you will recognize. But the pants this man was wearing, 3 of us can fit into it. But let me tell you, he put on a performance. Check it out, Jab Malassi performed in Trinidad live. Leon Coldero. Boy. And when I met Leon last year at the Treasure Coast Jerk Festival, after that performance, he could take off his shirt and wring it out wet. And it's not because it was hot. It was kind of hot still, but not because it was hot. The man put on a full performance. How you managed to keep this energy up after 30 years doing this? Like you said, in and out of studio, going to the radio stations to do interviews, performing, sometimes shows back to back, but you keep all this energy up still.
Well, this is what you have to do. I cannot just walk on a stage and not be able to entertain the audience, and the music, once the music it's like the music takes over. It takes control, and I just, goes with the flow.
Right.
Drums, you see, drums is a very, very infectious thing. You know, if you just play drums by itself and you can feel that drum making you, making you move. So you find that today the music or the industry has changed, where some of the artists are using what you call tracks to perform too.
Yes.
And it's not the same. You don't get the dynamics as having a live band backing you. You know, the drummer, when a drummer that snare and hit that kick drum, it invokes something in you that makes you move. And then also, mind you, I also feed off the audience. You know, I get my energy from the audience, and the bigger the audience is the better performance I put on, because I have, yes, exactly.
And you did have some energy on that stage, boy. And I cannot say that I have seen a live performance with you and it has been blah. Never that.
A dull moment. Yes.
Never that. And here it is. After 30 years, you're bringing it and bringing it and bringing it and coming back with new music. As you'd have heard, everybody listening would have heard me playing Jab My Lassie. I'll play the whole song for you afterwards, after we finish talking. And there's another Leo Coldero tune that I'll play for you also. It's that one that you just did with Fayan. What's it? Shake It.
The one that Shake It. Yeah.
Yes. Shake It. Which has more of an old school flavor.
Right.
And I'm like, look at Leon digging back and bringing it forward.
Well, again, like I said, music is let's just say, I don't think music has any kind of life span on it. You know what I mean? Some of the better music that you hear today is old school, because people interfering with the music and trying to what do you say, integrate different styles or different things into the music. But when you go back to a good oldie, and you start reminiscing, and this year in the carnival here in Trinidad, I've seen a lot of that happening, where the younger artists are collaborating with some of the older artists, and not only that, but some of them in the music production has been putting back things like horns. At one time, they weren't using much horns and guitars and stuff again in the music, more of a rhythm, but I'm happy to see that they're bringing back the actual horns, the brass in the music, and which gives it more of a dance flavor, because this is what when I if my child was supposed to say to me, one of my children said to me, Dad, I want to go to school to play music, and they're not using musicians anymore, then why should I even encourage him or her to go to music school to learn to play music when you're just using a computer and generating, these beats? So I'm happy to see that it's coming back, in the music, and I've seen a lot of that happening this year here in Trinidad.
You mentioned if one of your children were to say, I want to. When I met you, you had one of your children with you.
That is correct.
As a matter of fact, she performed.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about her.
Well, Jessie is my 10-year-old daughter, who at the time, it's just a little under a year ago, she was 9. But I remember having Jessie, and when she turned, I would say maybe 2 years old, Jessie will be beating a rhythm on the kitchen table and just be singing, I love my puppy, I love my puppy, I love my puppy. But she has a rhythm that is perfect timing. I'm like, where? Oh my gosh, I couldn't even ask where she got it from, because I know where she got it from.
Well,
apples make oranges.
That's right.
Apple trees don't make oranges. she is the one that seemed to be following my footsteps, and this is not something that I've been forcing her to do. This is something that she does naturally. So I decided to take her into the studio where she recorded her first single called DNA, saying that, the music is in her blood, it's in her genes, that's who she is. And then I did a rhythm called the Orange Rhythm, and she's on that rhythm as well. Excuse me.
It's going around. It's going around.
Yes. And, she just loved to sing. She just loved to perform. When I look at her, honestly, I see me. And the funny thing or the sad thing is, I remember when I was her age and wanted to do entertainment for a living, because I know that's what I wanted to do. I knew that I was born to be on a stage. But my father never supported me in my career, in my music, my music career.
Yeah.
And I said to myself that if or when I have children, I will not deprive them of that opportunity, because here it is. This is something I wanted to do, and I had no support.
Right.
That had affected me. I don't know how really far I could have gone had I had the support. But here I am supporting my 10-year-old, doing what I said to myself that I wouldn't do what my dad did to me, I wouldn't do to my kids. So I'm here to support her 100%. And who knows, the sky's the limit, because she's only 10. And, the kind of reviews I get about her and her ability to perform and sing and whatnot are just going to continue. And next thing you know, I have a little, Cardi B or what's her name from Barbados, Rihanna or something on my hand, you know. So I am just here to support her in her endeavors in the business.
So this track here that she has on the Orange Peel rhythm, SOCA, soca.
Yes.
This was one that you wrote for her?
This song was not written by me. The studio that I work in, one of the studios that I work in here in Trinidad, they saw her when she did the first song, the first single, DNA, and they decided that they wanted to write a song for her. But I had to listen to the song first to make sure it was appropriate,
right?
Because she's just 10 years old, and I don't want her. I want her to be a kid. I want her to grow up with her peers, and as she gets older, that her peers will grow up with her as fans and whatnot, following her.
Nice.
So the lyrical content to me was the most important thing, that she would be doing a song that lent to her age, and her peers, but not to be doing a song that it's out of her league in terms of lyrical content and so on.
That that speaks a lot to the fact that you're not just bringing her into the industry and just tossing her out there and say, okay, go do whatever.
Exactly.
No. You're still being a dad. You're still guiding her. You're still encouraging her to be a child. Although the entertainment industry is kind of rough and demanding.
Yes.
But you are making sure to give her the opportunity to enjoy her childhood nonetheless.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's a big deal. And I tip my hat to you for doing that.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, like even here right now I'm in Trinidad, and she could have been here, doing shows like school shows and whatnot, but she has school. And, there are certain things that takes priority, and school takes priority over anything else, and she has to have an education. So I choose that, no, you will not come to Trinidad around this time, but stay in school, do what you have to do, and when the opportunity arises, and you can come and show, because you have a whole lifetime still ahead of you.
Right,
I know it's going to change at some point in time, but I will try my best, like I said, to hold on and to keep her and to guide her where she's at right now, and when she become an adult and being able to switch and do whatever she wants to do, when I say so, still with guidance, of course.
Of course.
And the proper guidance, then, well, so be it. But for right now, she's a toddler, and I have to make sure that, because I'll be honest, I mean, there's social media out there now, and if I would have my daughter being dressed inappropriately at that age and singing songs that is not appropriate at that age, and the amount of flack that you can get out of it, it can break you before it makes you. So I have to be very careful with that line, you know, yeah.
Let children be children. Let child entertainers be child entertainers.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's a big deal. Let me ask you real quick about the song that I started the show with. While I was trying to get the rest of the gremlins out, or to leave me alone for just a moment. Zaddy.
Zaddy, yes.
How, why, when?
Being in the business for 30 years, I've decided to do a song that relates to who I am at present. And when I say so, what is a Zaddy? A Zaddy is, a gentleman, an older gentleman with swag. A gentleman that still looks, he doesn't look like an old man. He doesn't walk or act like, it's not because of the fact that you're an old man but trying to be a young boy with your pants sagging down at your knees. No, that's not what a Zaddy is. But a man who...
It's not sag, but swag.
Right. And, he's set in life. He has a good job. He has money in the bank. He's settled,
right.
And so I figured, okay, if I were to do a song at this stage, I just want to do a song that relates to me, a song that I can relate to as well. And it also has a twist to it where, the song is actually saying where, as far as the females is concerned, with this Zaddy, you will get sugar that could probably get you, diabetes. So you might have to get a shot of insulin, along the
way. Yes, sir.
That's the whole idea of the song,
Nice. I love it.
Yes. Thank you very much.
So what is it that you're working on in the studio right now?
Like I said, this is a song with a Latin twist that I'm working on right now. It's a Latin beat that we fell in love with and decided, what, we're going to do our own version of this song. And I mean, when this song releases, trust me, this is not Trinidad, this is not the Caribbean, this is, we're looking to take this worldwide, because like I said, and through Latin America, because there's such a huge market out there. So, again, the sky's the limit. You never know where this is going to go.
What is your connection to Latin America? Because
what is my connection to Latin America?
Yeah, you present Espanol quite fluidly.
Well, mi nombre es Leo Coldero, pero nació en Trinidad y Tobago. Mi abuelo nació en Venezuela y el otro en Colombia. ¿Tú entiendes?
Okay, so I caught Venezuela, I caught Colombia, I caught Leon Coldero.
Yes, and my name alone speaks for itself. Mi nombre es Leon Coldero.
Yeah.
So Coldero is where I got the Spanish from. My grandfather on my father's side was his grandfather came from Venezuela, and my mother's grandfather came from Colombia, and they migrated to Trinidad, and I was born in Trinidad, so that is where that Latin connection is, with me. Yes.
Nice.
So it's in the blood.
Yes. That makes for a wicked mix, though, because you have the soca coming into you from Trinidad, your Caribbean connections, and somehow you gel well with Jamaica.
Yes.
And it's just kind of odd because I've always heard that Trinidad and Jamaica don't quite get along. But
well, it's strange enough that you say that, because I remember leaving Trinidad and I migrated to Canada first. And when I went to Canada, I, wanting somewhere to stay, somewhere to live, and I ended up living at this Jamaican woman's home, renting, a room from her. And I was told prior to leaving Trinidad that the best Jamaican you can find is a dead one. That's what I was told.
Same
Not
thing.
knowing, yeah. And I remember being on the Reggae Soca Award, and I was saying that, I have spent time in Jamaica, and what a lovely set of people that I've met. And Muto Baruka said to me, he said he went up after me to do a poet, the dub poet, and he said, "Boy, I don't know what part of Jamaica Leon went, but trust me, because he went somewhere that I don't know of." Because again, what you're trying to say now, let's face facts. Everywhere you go, there is good, bad, and indifferent.
Right.
Okay, you have good people, you have people just up to wickedness and badness and whatever. You have good people, and then you have the indifferent ones, the ones that's in the middle, whatever.
Right.
But the people that I have, came into contact with in Jamaica was so nice to me, hospitable and friendly. And I have, to be honest with you, I am from Trinidad, lived in Canada, presently reside in Trinidad and Orlando, Florida. And the majority of my friends who I keep close is from Guyana and from Jamaica. I have few Trinidadian friends. And that's no lie. I will say it publicly, because I don't know, for some reason, we tend to pull down our own. We do it too.
We do it too.
But you see what I'm saying? But you find that other people from other islands or whatever will praise you, will worship you. I'm not saying anybody should praise me or worship me or anything like that. I'm just trying to say that, we're all human beings, and you should treat people like, on a level playing field. I hate the fact to hear people say about, boy, Jamaican people no good. You don't stereotype people, or Guyanese people no good, or Trinidadians. No. You have good Trinidadians, you have bad Trinidadians, you have good Jamaicans, you have bad Jamaicans, you have good Guyanese, you have bad Guyanese. So you treat an individual on a one-on-one basis and for who they are. I have nothing bad to say about anybody from Jamaica or anybody from Guyana. I just love people. That's me.
Yeah. I must say, my brother-in-law is Guyanese. So, born in Guyana, grew up in Jamaica. And I know people from growing up in the Salvation Army. People from everywhere in the Caribbean.
Right.
So I've had interactions with all of them.
Yes.
And personally, I haven't had any problems with any. And if I have a problem with one, it's a human problem. It's not because they come from this country problem.
Exactly.
So, Leon, I respect you. For several things. For taking the position that you do with the things that you've just mentioned. How you raise your children. This last one especially. Is she the only one that dibbles and dabbles in entertainment?
Yes. I have an older son, and he likes singing, but for some reason, at some point in time, he became shy, but does not want to do soca. He said to me, "Dad, if I'll be singing and I'm going to be recording," he's 16, just turned 16 on the 7th of this month.
Okay.
And he said, "I'll be doing R&B." I said, "Okay, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, I'm not forcing you to do anything that you don't want to do. Well, I'm not going to tell you what I want you to do." My father told me, most West Indian parents, they growing up, back in the day would tell you what they want you to become. They want you to become, a school teacher, a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant, an engineer, whatever. Whatever my children want to be, I am here as a parent, as a father, to support them in whatever they want to. When I say whatever, not that you're going to become a a drug addict and I support you, that you're a criminal, exactly. But once it is something, I don't know whether you want to become a chef, you want to become a police officer, you want to become a musician, you want to become a doctor, a lawyer, whatever it is you choose, I as a parent, I'm here to support you.
Right.
Because I see it different as opposed to your parent or our parent back then wanted us to become what they wanted us to become. This is not your life. You live your life already. I have to make a life now of my own, and all I need from you is that support.
Right.
And I can be the best that I can be if I were to get that support.
Right. Much respect to you with
that's
that.
How I see it.
You see, it takes the next one to change or to fix what didn't really work with them coming up.
Right,
it didn't work with you, really,
and
so you decided to fix it.
Sometimes it's not them to be blamed. They just didn't know better. You know what I mean? They're just going based on probably what they grew up knowing also from their parents, and you know. So I'm not.
And their exposure.
Mad. Right, exactly.
You're a little bit more exposed than your father was.
That's correct. You know, so I'm just doing what I think is the best thing to do for my children, and I'm blessed. You know, because so far I have no complaints. You know, I cannot remember one of my children throwing tantrum, what they call a 2-year tantrum or whatever it is, throwing themselves
terrible
down on the floor because they didn't get, terrible twos and all that. No, I don't know nothing about it with my kids.
Nice.
You know, I would teach them, you know, put them to sit down. I would talk to them every day. You know, and tell them, because my father never spoke to me. My father never told me anything or taught me anything for that matter. And I guess, too, it wasn't his fault again because he was busy trying to provide for us.
Right.
He would come home, he retired. You know, back then, again, you know, we find our way to school and from school ourselves. Today, I pick up my children from school and bring them home and stuff. So on the way to school or on the way from school, we'll be talking.
You get talk time,
Exactly. You know, and I think it's important. It's very important for parents today to devote whatever little spare time that they have towards the kids, because a lot of the kids are just growing up on their own. And then with social media,
being raised by social media.
Around,
yes.
Yeah, they no communication. They're lost. You know,
and end up not being very sociable and in the long run.
Exactly. I do what you call no cell phone days or no cell phone weekend. I'll take the kids and we're going for a drive and no phones. Let's talk. So we're talking and laughing and you know, I will give them stories about how dad grew up, about when we used to write letters, you know, to communicate.
Yes.
And when we had maybe the neighbor had a telephone and everybody didn't have a phone in their home, and the neighbor,
rotary phone,
leave a message, and give them these stories so they'll be like, wow, Dad, I don't know how you all did it, but you know, but just talking, it doesn't matter what it is we talk about, but just talking with the kids and, you know, having them to communicate, listen to, just hear them talk and so forth, you know, as opposed to everyone jumps in the car, get on their cell phone or on their iPads or tablets, and who's listening to music and who is watching YouTube or whatever. And there's no conversation, you know.
The lost art of conversation.
Yes,
boy,
exactly.
I'm glad that you happen to take the time out to do that with your children, and wish more of us parents would do that. Let me ask you this. If you weren't doing music, what would you be doing?
I would be a restaurant owner, because on my downtime, I mean, I cook almost every day.
Really?
Yes, fresh food. I believe in eating properly. And there are times when I'll be taking the kids again, I'll be taking them out and like, guys, what do you all want to eat? I give them a choice: Chinese, Latin, American, Caribbean. What do you all want to eat? Dad, I think you should take us home and cook for us.
Nice.
Yeah. Coming from school, you know, probably stop by, get a pizza or whatever it is. No, Dad, I want you to go and make us burgers or whatever it might be. But they want me to make it from scratch because they will enjoy what I prepare 100 times over going out there and purchasing. Nice. As a matter of fact, I'll be honest with you. One of my sons would say to me, Dad, why spend all that money when we can go home and get something to eat.
Nice.
Like,
do they help? Do they help when you're making it?
Kids, the first thing they would think about is, we're going out to eat, and it's fun for them. It's something to do.
Right.
And one of my kids will say to me, Dad, I think that's expensive. You shouldn't spend that money. I mean, and it's not only in that case. I'll take them to places where my children will make these statements.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I can't believe, my children would say such things. It's just how, how they were brought up, the training.
So when they say they want to go home and make something, do they help you to make it?
I'm still on the interview. Yeah. I'm in the studio talking to the producer. He just needed my attention for a second.
Yeah.
2 minutes. Yes. So
yeah, I'm gonna let you go shortly. Because I know how studio work goes.
Right.
Do the kids help you to make it when they say they want to go and make something? Do they help you in the kitchen, mixing up whatever and cutting up vegetable ingredients and stuff, seasonings?
Well, I have a 14-year-old, and he makes one of the best omelette that I know of. And he says, Dad, I learned from you. Let me show you how I can do a steak. And he will do steaks, and oh my God, he wants to be a chef.
Nice.
Brilliant kid.
Nice.
I mean, he's an AD student, but he wants to be a chef. And I'm like, well, son, if that's what you want to do, okay, fine, no problem, because they would say things like, Mom, don't cook first, please. Okay, let Dad do the cooking.
I need to connect you with Sir Rockwell. Because he's a foodie too, I need to connect you with Sir Rockwell. I'm a foodie of a different nature. I'm the one that deals with the finished product. Let me eat it.
Yes. And it's not Trini food, This is not about Trini food. I cook anything. I cook Asian, Latino, Italian, Caribbean. I could tell you, if I live in an area, where you can go to get the best Jamaican food, because I've been to Jamaica so many times and had eaten in some of the best restaurants in Jamaica, and could tell you who have the best oxtail or the best fried fish or the best, and again I'll tell you who have the best roti and who have the best Chinese food, and I just have a knack for food.
Right.
So don't give me crap to eat, and I have a way about me that I just love things prepared a certain way. It has to be done properly. It has to be presented properly, and also the taste has to be, that if I weren't singing, I would have owned a restaurant.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely need to connect you with Sir Rockwell. Leon, we're gonna have to talk again. Maybe when you come back stateside and have a few minutes to sit down, we need to talk some more, because 30 years in the industry, I know there's a lot that you can share.
Yes.
Talking about things like where you see music in the Caribbean going, where you see soca music going. Is there?
Wow.
What about an infusion in Caribbean music? All of these things, and I know you have some things in your head about it, and we just don't have the time tonight, so we're gonna have to do it one time and the lines will be open for anybody to call. Although the lines were open tonight, but I wouldn't encourage people to call, because I want to get through this preliminary conversation, and I know you have studio to get back into and finish up some stuff. But I truly appreciate you taking the time out to share with us tonight. Truly appreciate it, man.
You're most welcome.
And you see, I've been patient. For years, I've been wanting to talk to somebody from the soca music industry. And you're the first. You're the first soca artist. And I've been doing this particular show for almost 10 years.
Okay.
I've had the night shift for almost 10 years now, doing it since the inception of Rock the Box, on Rock the Box, which is celebrating its 8th-year anniversary.
Right.
First
but
soca
I'm sure
artist.
I'm sure I have a lot to share because I have a wide knowledge of, being in the industry for such a long time, and working not only looking at it from a Trinidadian standpoint, but working with Byron Lee and the Dragonaires too for a period of 8 years and being well traveled and being to Jamaica so many times, performing in Jamaica and throughout the Caribbean, North America, certain places in not Latin America, South America. I've never really done a soca show in Latin America, but been to Europe and all that. I'm sure that I have a wealth of knowledge that I can share as far as where I see, the music is going and my experience in the business and all that stuff. So
yeah, man,
definitely.
we have to talk. We have to talk. We have to sit down and talk.
Yes.
And that will be.
But I would just look forward. Yeah, look forward to this new track. This track should be done and probably released in another week.
Okay, sweet.
Marcus, I'll definitely send it to you. Yes, and you let me know your feedback and stuff. But I'm doing music for the people out there. It's for them to like it, enjoy it, share it, because I'm here to make people happy through music.
Yes, and I'm waiting for the collab with you and Jess Lee.
Yeah, that's in the making too, definitely.
I'm waiting for that collab. That father-daughter collab will be wicked.
Something to look forward to.
But as you roll out, I'm going to play Jessa Lee's tune on the Orange Peel rhythm. And I want to thank you once again, Leon, for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
If people want to get in touch with you, Leon, how can they reach out to you?
People can always email me at leon.nufflive.entertainment. And they can also find me on all social media platforms. That would be Facebook, Leon Coldero, Twitter, Leon Coldero, Instagram, Leon Coldero, and the name is spelled LeonColdero.
There we go. Much respect, Leon. Once again,
Blessings.
We will connect because I want to talk to Jessie again. She is so much fun. She has so much energy. But she get that from her daddy. But she is such a sweet girl. Kudos to you. Kudos to you.
Yes, thank you. And we would make that possible. That's not a problem.
All right, sir.
All right. Thanks again, and thanks to all the listeners that's listening right now.
Yes,
and you all hope you enjoy my music again. I would say, feel free to share it with a friend, tell a friend, and all that good stuff. But look out for more new music coming from Leon Coldero soon.
Definitely. All right, Leon.
Thanks again.
Catch up with you.
Have a blessed night.
All right, blessings, man. Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Leon Coldero, the man himself. Boy, listen, y'all wouldn't even know. I want to say thanks to JTMC for sponsoring this segment of the show. This previous segment, we're gonna roll into a musical therapy, which will be a little bit of a mix-up, if you so. Yeah, there's no other way to call it. A little mix-up musical therapy. This is Jessie Marley Coldero. Yes, Marley. The 10-year-old daughter of Leon Coldero.
Friend
to Daddy.
Anyway, she is a dance, but go and perform. Yeah, yeah.
This is Leo Coldero.
Look, the girl there, and she don't like it when
It's called Act Normal.
she know I want
And y'all know I identify as trans normal, right?
it. I get all down. I want to take a wine on your bummy, girl, right there. I see me, girl, right there. Your body calling me. Gosh, I wanna hold jam on your bummy, girl, right there. I see me, girl, right there. Your body enticing me. Okay, you're teasing me, but I had to watch you. You're teasing me. I really wanna wine on you, girl. You're teasing me, but I had to watch you, girl. Yeah, you're teasing me, but all I can do now is just act normal, just act normal, just act normal. Yeah, yeah, just act normal, just act normal, just act normal. Ooh yeah. Every time she call me phone, it's a bacchanal involving big stone. Yeah. Anytime she passing by, my girl just watch me like she wants start to cry. Yeah, yeah. She always want me, and she ain't bluffing and afraid. She real bad. Yeah. But I real want less, and I go chance it once. She ain't catch me running down woman. I want to take a wine on your bummy, girl, right there. I see me, girl, right there. Your body calling me. Gosh, I wanna hold jam on your bummy, girl, right there. I see me, girl, right there. Your body enticing me. Okay, you're teasing me, but I had to watch you. You're teasing me. I really wanna wine on you, girl. You're teasing me, but I had to watch you, girl. Yeah, you're teasing me, but all I can do now is just act normal, just act normal, just act normal. Yeah, yeah, just act normal, just act normal, just act normal. Ooh yeah. I want to take a wine on your bummy, girl, right there. I see me, girl, right there. Your body calling me. Gosh, I wanna hold.
The track is called Act Normal.
I see me, girl, right there. Your body enticing me.
If you can do it, you can do it.
Put a woman in front and a man behind. Shake it thing, girl, you come to wine. Roll your hips and shake your spine. Any girl can wine, is a waste of time. Put your hands in the air and shake it, shake it. Bend like you want break
This
it.
is Leo Coldero,
And them take it.
Faye and Lions.
Leon Coldero, let's go.
Yeah, it's musical therapy of a different nature tonight. It's called Shake It. New music from Leo Coldero.
Labor Day jam in Brooklyn.
We out on the show.
That is where I met Evelyn.
Jamming on the show.
I couldn't resist when I see this Yankee girl. After she coming down for the carnival, she say I want to learn how to get on west. And if I don't get the rest, the woman go laugh at the Evelyn girl. You don't have no problem. When you get the secret, you go out shine. Put your hand in the air and shake it. Jam like if you don't care and shake it. Put your bouncy down low and shake it. Rock it to and fro and shake it. After a shake to make it a sweeter. 2 teaspoons of wine to make you feel fine. 3 pills of bacchanal without the sun back, girl. So now you can shake it. Shake it.
Put a woman in front and a man behind. Shake the thing, girl, you come to wine. Roll your hips and shake your spine. Any girl can wine, is a waste of time. Put your hands in the air and shake it, shake it. Bend like you want break it, break it. Make the man them take it, take it.
Like the girl, she ain't have no tempo.
Cause she whining slow.
Or maybe she have a corner, she big toe.
Why she moving so?
Tell them when they hear you come down to Trinidad.
This is Leo Coldero, for those of you who didn't get it. Leo Coldero. Fair and Lions. It's called Shake It.
JTMC music.
Yeah, not you yet. Alright, so 10 minutes to the top of the hour. I want to say thank you to Pulse Media Group, GMAT Music Solutions, JTMC Enterprises, and now Rockbox.net for sponsoring these previous segments. Rockbox for this segment of the Wake Up and Live show. Sir Rockwell kicks it off tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Tomorrow is Tuesday, Indie Artist Tuesday. So you definitely want to catch up with Sir Rockwell and his shenanigans. Yeah. Will I be passing through tomorrow? No. Not as far as I know. So no Stu and Rockwell shenanigans tomorrow. No. But yeah, I know y'all overdue, but it's coming.
Jasmine, girl.
This is ED.
I make love to you, girl. I don't want to stop, you know.
Featuring Jasmine. ED, the brand ambassador for Island Energy.
Hey girl, it ain't no mystery. By near, by far, as far as my eyes can see. I wanna keep you laying right next to me. Me and you under the street. Girl, you're a Miss Cutie, cute all the time. Kissing and caressing and you blow my mind. Miss Nicey, nice every day. I love you anyway, so me nah go astray.
Ooh, baby, I feel your love surrounding me. Ooh, baby.
Lift up the vibes with the island. Reach number one, now you're smiling. DJ Kevin, you reach number one, and I say you're smiling from bad mind, and I play it back for the people. And ED says so.
You know it's easy to place, no time to waste. For the ladies.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And you know where I be.
I want to thank you each and everyone for tuning in tonight.
You know when I make love to you.
Even though the gremlins interrupted us,
stop, you know.
we made it through. Join me tomorrow, where we do it all over again. Healthy Love Tuesday.
As far as my eyes can see, I wanna keep you laying right next to me. Me and you under the street.
This is how I bounce out of here tonight. Thank you again. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are in the world.
Nice every day. I love you anyway, so me nah go astray.
Ooh, baby. I feel your love surrounding me. Ooh, baby. Making love between the sheets.
Everything opposite and everything alright. Roll over, girl, and let me hold you tight. Turn off the light and let me get up in the mood. Rub down your body, girl, cause your skin feels so smooth. I'm gonna make love all night long. 2 hours gone and me still can't done. I wanna make love to you night and day. This is easy and you know me not play.
Oh boy, I love you all night long. And I know you felt it coming on. Oh darling, just taste my love. Oh, it tastes so sweet. Sharing our love between the sheets. Ooh, baby. I feel your love
the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless. You'll be hearing a lot more from him in the near future.